Welcome to Main Street Living. I'm Cheryl Nelson.
Hey, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Avari.
Danielle, welcome back. We missed you
guys.
Weeks, and I know that you have some big news, so catch us up.
Yeah, I'm in my new apartment in Las Vegas, Nevada. So made a big move, lots of moves in the last couple weeks. And I started working for a network called VSIN, so Vegas Sports Information Network, and I'm an on-air host for them now. So,
well,
congratulations!
You done left LA and now you're in LV.
Yeah, exactly. But California is so smoky right now, and everything is shut down in Los Angeles. So, just a little bit cheaper to live out here too. So,
yeah, a little bit more freedom. And what do you do with your new job?
So the network is a sports betting network. It's actually the sports betting network. So I'm kind of the novice that gets to challenge all of the experts and ask them, whoa, slow this down for the beginners.
Nice.
That is pretty cool, and it looks like you fit right in too, right?
Well, I'm trying, Quince. I don't fit in quite as well as I fit in here on Main Street, I think.
Aww.
I'm their only female host. I'm their only female on-air host. So making it happen. But the studio is really nice. It's inside of a casino. So it's kind of funny going into work. Like it's very much a Vegas work experience. I walk into a casino, the studio's right in the sports book. The sports book's open 24 hours. So it's crazy.
So I have to ask you, have you gone to any of the slot machines just to play one since you're right there?
I have not, but I'm getting into sports betting. I have started to make some bets and try to understand all of the input that goes into that.
You know that's what got Michael Jordan in trouble, right?
Yes, but I unfortunately am not Michael Jordan, and sports betting is now legal in like 30 states. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
did you guys ever? Can you relate to this big move for me? Do you guys ever have a big move? I'm sure we all work in TV.
Yes. One of my first TV jobs was up in Syracuse in upstate New York. And it was really a good time there. And I got my first billboard when I was in Syracuse. So that says Central New York's most experienced meteorologist.
Only lady too. Nice, Cheryl.
It was really exciting to have that up. Lots of fun there. And then on my last day, I was at that station for almost 3 years. And so we were goofing off on the set. I love the style.
I love it, Cheryl.
Trendy, and we were having a good time.
Monochromatic is back, let me tell you.
Is it or no?
Yes.
What?
Yes, it is. It is back. I'm here to tell you. You heard it here first.
A nice business dress suit that you had on.
Oh my gosh, that's all people wore back then. Ladies wore suits. That was it. So I was dating myself a little bit.
Well, it's better than a uniform in some cases. Now, my first move was when I left Texas to join the Navy.
Right.
Many decades ago. This is
I love that they don't show us this before the show.
That's so cute.
Genuine reaction.
Left and joined the Navy. So that was my first time leaving Texas physically to go anywhere outside of Texas. And obviously I got stationed in Virginia in 95 and pretty much been here over half my life. So
did you go anywhere else in the Navy?
Well, my choices were either I was going to be stationed in Norfolk or be stationed in San Diego and Norfolk. So I could have easily been in San Diego because wherever I got stationed, and that's where I've been. So, it could have easily been on the West Coast, and I never would have met y'all. Well, I may have come across you, Danielle, but I never would have met you.
You never know. Small world.
Come across me.
Well, Quincy, thanks for your service.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you lived somewhere really cold too. So, I mean, you have to think about the seasons when you move places as well. Las Vegas so far has been excruciatingly hot, but so has Los Angeles apparently. So nothing too different there. But coming up is my favorite season.
Me
fall.
too.
The leaves are changing. If you are planning any kind of fall road trips, then we have just the thing you need. So stick with us.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. And ladies, just like that, Labor Day signifies the unofficial ending of summer and with fall waiting patiently in the winds. It's getting a little crazy, right?
I'm so excited about it. I love it. My favorite season.
I can't even believe 2020 went that fast, but I do love fall, and it is the best time of year to go leaf looking, right? Or leaf peeping. I don't know how we say it. But here to talk to leaf peeping. Okay, here to talk to us a little bit more about that leaf peeping, we have David Angotti, founder of SmokyMountains.com. David, thanks so much for joining us.
Great to see you guys.
All right, so David, tell us, why is a road trip the best way to enjoy the fall colors?
I'm always a little bit partial to road trips. It allows you to get out of the car, to really just soak it in. It really becomes more about the journey than the actual destination. That's one of the advantages to a road trip. This year, more than ever, people aren't really keen on hopping on an airplane and flying all the way across the country maybe. But when you hop in the car, now you get to see the leaves changing as you drive through the different destinations and kind of see the progression of fall up close and personal from your vehicle.
Oh, that's my favorite thing to do. And David, I'm a meteorologist, so I'm always paying attention to the weather and trying to guess when the peak foliage time will be. So where do you think this year the best destinations will be to get the good colors?
Oh, every year there's certain destinations that pop out and just really grab us. And no stranger to being the highlights of fall would be the states of Washington, Vermont, Maine, and then I'm a little bit partial to Tennessee and North Carolina, since that's right by where I live and where our national park is here.
So David, you've done something a little bit special here. Tell us about this fall foliage map and how you came up with the idea to make it.
Yeah, so we're a small company based in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, right in the Smoky Mountains. And fall is a huge thing out here. The towns get decorated for fall. We have life-size pumpkin creatures all around on the strip through downtown, and people want to come here during peak fall. So 8 years ago, we started to just get an influx of questions on when fall was going to peak. So we decided to create a local map at that time using weather sources and predictive metrics on when fall would peak. Well, as soon as we had published that, people started reaching out, hey, when is it peaking here in New York or over here in Washington State? So we took the same methodology and scaled it to the nationwide level. So that way, no matter where you live, for 3,100 different geographical areas in the continental United States, we've predicted the entire progression of fall, not just peak fall.
That is really cool to see this. And I know there's so much science behind it, and it changes from year to year based on the weather and how much rain you have and how cold it gets. So there's got to be some challenges with that.
There are challenges with it, but thankfully there's a lot of good data sources available, and in our 8th year we've worked out some of the kinks. However, it's kind of like meteorology. No matter how many times you do a weekend forecast, you can still get one wrong.
Thank you. Yep.
Exactly. And nobody cares how many times you get it right. They only care about the year you get it wrong. But the good thing is, with 3,100 different areas, we have a lot of chances to get it right. And so that makes it especially fun. And we are using just widely available data sources that our model ingests. And so we're looking at temperature, both historic, current, and predictive. We're looking at macro trends, like are we in a La Nina effect year like this year? We're looking at precipitation trends. All of that together feeds into the model and then spits out the progression of fall with 12 weeks for each area.
Nice.
That's amazing. And so does this one operate any differently than any other fall maps you could find? Is there something special about this one? Obviously, all the metrics.
Yeah, so what I would say that we have going for our fall map that I haven't seen with any other fall maps is the progression of fall. You'll find other fall maps maybe out there that predict the peak, but to see the progression all the way from patchy to past peak with how that progression occurs, it lets people plan a little bit better on when maybe they can visit. So maybe they can't hit the right at peak, but they can go the week before. So things like that are neat to see, as well as the progression with a user interface that allows them to slide it and see how fall will actually occur.
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And I know with COVID, at least you can go in your car and take a road trip with your family. So nobody's going to stop you from seeing fall colors. Before we go, once again, what's that website?
It's SmokyMountains.com.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. Lots of fun. And Danielle, I think that's one thing we need to do is
road trip
there. Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
All road trip.
Well, lots more ahead on Main Street Living. I know you're struggling with all that virtual learning, so stay tuned. We've got some tips to help you stay patient and sane.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Well, guys, it is already mid-September somehow, which means school has started. School's going.
Yeah, and I can say honestly, like myself and so many other parents that's out there, trying to guide our kids through this distance learning while also working from home, it can feel a little bit overwhelming. And in fact, in this next package, Natalia Borquez, she actually has some tips for us to help our kids stay organized, productive, and happy. So let's see what she has for us.
I'm Natalia Borquez, contributor for Vegas Family Guide. With kids having started or getting ready to start school, and most of us doing it as distance learning, we have compiled some tips for you to support your students. Set and keep a schedule. Design it to fit your circumstances at home. Think about your work schedule, sleeping schedules. This might mean the kids are getting up, getting dressed, and eating breakfast before school, just like they would during the school year. Or maybe they're watching their lessons in the afternoon, so the morning's reserved for chores. Once you've got something that works, stick to it. And this almost certainly means to use some sort of timer so that everyone knows what to expect. Whether it's pencil and paper, stable Wi-Fi connection, login information for all accounts, headphones for each kid, a printer with ink and paper, or note-taking apps or reading strategies, whatever they need to get the work done. Organization is always important and helpful during the school year, but it'll be even more important now, especially if you have multiple kiddos distance learning at the same time. Choose a system and stick to it. The easiest system for us is a binder for each kid. Each binder should include their schedule, page with commonly used websites, usernames, and passwords, a pencil case with pencil, eraser, pencil sharpener, dry erase marker, timer, and highlighter. Dividers or folders for each subject. If the teacher has the subjects color-coded, try to match their colors. Any printed assignments, and 1 or 2 extra page protectors. These can be used to make any worksheet dry erase. Set up a learning space. Don't feel like you have to replicate anything that you've seen on Pinterest or even a classroom. A good learning environment will consist of good lighting, relatively quiet atmosphere, and easy to access materials. Remember, you can be flexible too. If one spot doesn't work out, try out another. Whether it's a bedroom or kitchen table, whatever you have will work. Make sure to take breaks. When it's time for breaks and lunch, get the kids up and active. Have them step away from their learning area and get some fresh air. Healthy snacks and lunch are important too. Have snacks available on a shelf or drawer that they can grab independently, and set the expectation that they are for school. Also, have them fill up their water bottle at lunchtime so they have it accessible during class. Your main contact should be your child's teacher. For more general questions, the front office will be your next best contact. Bookmark and regularly check the school district website and the state education website. Join the PTA to stay current on school events, fundraisers, and to connect with other parents. If your child has an IEP, make sure to connect with their special ed teacher or service provider. For ideas on things to do at home with your kids, follow local online blogs or parent support groups. Take a walk. Physical activity releases chemicals in the brain that help people feel better. Great conversations can happen when it's you and your kids walking together. Prepare a healthy meal together. Then sit down and share the meal with no distractions. Turn off the television and cell phones. Get creative. Try coloring using modeling clay, painting, or knitting. Listen to music or watch a family show together. Pick a series to watch together, to unwind, or choose a movie series to watch once a week. Having something to look forward to each week will help everyone stay positive. Take a brain break and try deep breathing, stretching, or yoga. You can find 10-minute yoga workouts on YouTube that are perfect for de-stressing. Remember, you're not the teacher. You're there to support your kids the best way you can. It's a whole new world. Everyone is learning together and doing their best. Everyone is on the same team to help your kids have the best distance learning experience possible. For more tips like this, visit us at vegasfamilyevents.com.
Yes. I don't know if we're going to use any of those techniques. No,
I can't eat dinner without TV, unfortunately. I'm a TV junkie.
Yeah.
So
she makes it all so positive. I mean, I don't know. I don't have kids.
I think we could just take one tip, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
if you
wife
take
is
one
in
tip,
there.
we'll mark that a success.
There you go.
My wife is in there handling it right now. So kudos to her. And she's still juggling her job as well. But what I can say is, staying at home to learn, or if you're in quarantine, either way, it's definitely been a challenge. So up next, we switch some gears and we bring you a unique place you may love to stay. So stay with us. There's more on Main Street Living when we return. Welcome back to Main Street Living. Hey, Cheryl, it looks like we're back and we found another hidden gem, a place to stay visiting Newport, Rhode Island.
These are so fun to talk about. And for the past several weeks, we've been highlighting Rediscover Rhode Island. And yes, we're focusing on Newport. And there's so many cute shops and places to visit there. And now we have a wonderful place to stay. And who's joining us to tell us all about it is Karen Sullivan. And she is the innkeeper at the Helen House Inn right there in Newport. So welcome to Main Street Living. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here. I've heard this inn has so much history. It dates really far back in time. So tell us about that.
Actually, 3 days ago, 400 years, the Mayflower set sail. John Holland was on the Mayflower. There were 20 people that fell overboard, 19 perished. He was the only one to survive.
Ooh.
The gentleman that had this house that the inn is in was the 6th generational direct descendant of John Holland.
Wow.
So we have Mayflower ties.
What? See, that's amazing. And do you have any artifacts or anything from the Mayflower in the house?
No, unfortunately we don't. But our Newport Historic has an actual medallion that was given to Benjamin Baker Holland for his service in Newport. He's the only one that's ever received a medal.
Ooh, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so what is the inn actually like? I mean, how many rooms are in it? What are the rooms like? Because I know that they built homes differently back then, than they do today.
Yes, we actually have 4 suites, but they're very large suites. The smallest is 850 and the largest is 1800.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting in the kitchen of the large suite. It's a full operational kitchen. The other 3 suites have a refrigerator, microwave, and coffee maker in them. We serve them, they have a light breakfast. So
Nice.
everything's organic, non-GMO.
Listen to you. You're appealing to everybody, and you have some great amenities that you just mentioned. So lots of modern amenities inside the rooms. What else can people expect when they visit?
When they come here, we've kept as much of the historic as we could. And despite the age of the home was built circa 1750, 1765, somewhere in that window.
Mm-hmm.
There are modern amenities here. We have Alexa, we have charging stations, we have electronic locks that you can open by keypad or smartphone.
Wow.
We're very environmentally sound, so there's very little plastic here. I was very fortunate to be able to rid us of as much plastic as possible.
You're amazing. You're so innovative, but you are keeping the history alive there. And buildings back then, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the walls then were thick. And so you wouldn't have to worry about all the noisy neighbors. Is that right?
Yeah, the plaster walls.
That's how they should build walls today, I feel like. And so, I mean, it sounds like a wonderful place to visit. What's in the immediate surrounding area? What do people do when they come and stay with you?
We are right in the middle of the historic district. It's a historic hill. And so there are obviously a lot of historic homes that have been preserved. But it's a 2-minute walk down and you're at the waterfront where there's tons of restaurants and shops. If you want to go sailing, you can charter a sail. About 5 minutes up the hill, there's plenty of shops and restaurants.
So I think you told us.
Everything is very walkable.
That sounds wonderful to me. Where can people learn more information or make a reservation before we go?
All they have to do is go to our website, hollandhouseinn.com. It's all on there and all the pictures are up. I'm quite pleased with the website. Earlier this year, we put all new wainscoting throughout the whole inn and painted. It's beautiful.
I bet it is. I can't wait to visit in person. And you are a true gem yourself. So thank you so much for joining us today on Main Street Living.
Thank you for having us. And please do come and visit. We'd love to
can count on it. Yep, we're taking a road trip. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, guys, that's awesome. I can't wait to go.
Yeah, I'm totally sold. When Main Street Living comes back, we're going to get experimental. Stick with us.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. So you guys know that virtual learning is a hot topic these days. Seems like everybody's doing it because they have no choice. But I think it's important to always incorporate STEM into your activities. I'm a big advocate for that, as you guys know.
Of course. And that's like something I'm so proud of as a woman to Cheryl, that she works in science. And I think it's so important to incorporate science, especially for young little girls, but for everyone, for all those kids, getting them excited about STEM. And one of those ways to do that is doing science experiments at home. So here to give us some tips for that, we'll take a look at this package from Sari Custer, the Chief of Science and Curiosity, what a cool title, at the Arizona Science Center.
Hey guys, are you ready for a little more Sari on Science from Arizona Science Center? Because today we're talking about back to school science, and what's more classic and back to school than a baking soda vinegar volcano. All right, I love this experiment, and not just because it's classic, but because it's awesome chemistry and uses just ingredients you likely already have in your kitchen. So we're gonna need some vinegar, some baking soda. We're gonna use a plastic bottle with a small top. If you don't have one, no worries, just use a cup or a glass, whatever you got. I've got a plastic plate here just to catch our spillage. I've got a measuring cup, some measuring spoons. I'm gonna be using a funnel today, and if you don't have a funnel, you can just take a piece of paper and roll that up. I'm also gonna be using some food dye and a couple of plastic bags, a large gallon-sized one and a small sandwich-sized one, and we'll get back to those in just a second. But let's do this volcano. All right, so first things first, take your bottle, and you're gonna put your funnel right in the top, and take 1 heaping tablespoon of baking soda and drop it right down in there. All right, next, we're gonna add our vinegar. So when you're adding vinegar, your pro tip, if you're gonna color your vinegar, is to add the drops to the measuring cup first. Now, a lot of people like to use red to make it look like red hot molten lava, which I love. Today, my daughter asked me to use pink, so we're using pink. All right, so when you add this, we're gonna do about 1/2 cup of vinegar. Here we go. Perfect. And when you pour it in on top of those drops, it automatically mixes, so super easy. All right, next, we're gonna move all this back here, and we're gonna go ahead and pour all our vinegar right straight into the bottle. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Woo! Awesome. Oh, look at that. Doesn't it look fantastic? Look at those bubbles. All right, those bubbles are an indicator that our chemical reaction happened. We've got a classic acid-base reaction going on here where we've got our acid, which is vinegar, our base, which is the baking soda, and the bubbles that are being produced, that's carbon dioxide gas. Let's see if we can find a way to look at that gas a little bit more closely. I want you to grab your 2 bags, starting with the big gallon-sized bag. We're gonna add, I've already pre-measured 3 tablespoons of baking soda. Put that right in the big bag. Set it aside for a second. Grab your measuring cup. We're gonna do another 1/2 cup-ish of vinegar. And we're gonna add that to the sandwich size bag. Now pour that right in there. Awesome. If you've got snack size bags, that works too. We're gonna give it a little puff of air and we're gonna zip that up. We want it to be kind of a pillowy bag because we're gonna pop it in a little bit. I know, right? All right, make sure that's sealed and we're gonna very carefully place it inside the bag with the baking soda. Start zipping up the big bag. Squeeze out the air there from the big bag. All right, place this flat. All right, and now comes the fun part. We get to break this open. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! All right, now the same reaction's happening here. Our acid and our base are mixing. Can you guys hear those bubbles? Listen to that. All right, now we get to look at the gas a little bit more closely because we've trapped it in a closed container. The gas is being produced and it can't escape this bag, so it's making it inflate. And this is actually the same acid-base reaction that happens in those great instant message balloons that self-inflate. Same thing going on. So you can keep playing with this, shake it a little bit, see if you can get the bubbles to keep going. And as that gas is being produced, you're gonna see the bag continue to self-inflate like our own little balloon. All right, I hope you had some fun with this one. I had a ton of fun with it. A little bit of back to school science for you, and we'll see you next time with a little more Sari on Science.
Oh, that's
I could
cool.
never do that.
Yeah, you could.
I never got
to
do the volcano. Did you guys get to do the volcano?
No.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, of course I did. But I love the sound it makes. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I could never do that. I would ruin
You guys are great.
everything in the house and I'd be in trouble. Quincy! That's the yelling that I would get.
I would watch Science with Quincy.
Yeah, me too. I think it'd be very entertaining.
Well, the cool thing with science is the fact that it can be cool and fun, but safety is always key, just like the shelters is for our animals. And, and after the break, we'll show you why. So you guys stay right there. We got more from Main Street Living.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, Cheryl, Quincy, I know you guys are on the East Coast, but on the West Coast, fires all up and down the coast. It's been crazy. My hometown, my parents said the air quality is awful.
It's so terrible to see. I can't imagine being out there. And I know we're going to speak with somebody who's out there.
Yeah, Cheryl, when disasters like this strike, North Valley Animal Disaster Group volunteers in partnership with emergency services, they team up to evacuate, rescue, and simply shelter in place at-risk animals. So here to explain a little bit more in detail is John Moretti, Executive Director of North Valley Animal Disaster Group. How are you today, John?
Great, thanks for having me.
Hey, well, we first of all, we appreciate what you're out there doing. Can you tell us a little bit about your group?
Sure, we started in 1999. I am a retired Chico firefighter. And at the time, I noticed while going to some of these wildland fires, we have some economically depressed areas where people don't have horse trailers or their truck doesn't run, or it's just, it's difficult to get animals out. The other thing we have in this area is we have beautiful foothills, but the people have to work and they come down into the valley where the employment is. And the fires always start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when people are at work. So that the first thing they do, of course, is set up roadblocks so they can't go get their animals. So we started this group back in 1999. We went and spoke to the Butte Fire Chief Association and the sheriff and said, what do you think about this? And they put a lot of parameters on us. They didn't want a bunch of yahoos running behind fire lines. So they made sure that we had 16 hours of training, the fire line training, the Nomex clothing, and actually even radios that have the same frequency. So when we go up to these divisions, we contact the division group supervisor and request permission to enter their division. And then they'll look at the fire conditions and say, sure, no problem, or no, not today, I'm sorry. For example, this fire, we haven't been able to do a whole lot the first couple of days. Today we're getting in, we're making some good evacuations.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's so heartbreaking to hear these stories because animals are like family to many people and their livelihood as well. So when you are able to evacuate animals, I mean, what's the process? This cannot be easy.
No, one of the most important things is identification. We pride ourselves in getting 100% of the animals back to their owners, which can be difficult during hectic times. When you're going up to a location and they're telling you an address, well, the house is burned down, the mailbox is burned down, so you're not positive. So we're using longitude, different things to make sure we identify things like that. So it's worked out pretty good. We do have 2 temporary shelters, one for the small animals, which is actually the old county hospital. And then I don't know if you can see behind me, but we have a livestock area out in the fields that can house about 150 horses there as well.
Yeah, John, and I see that you're currently in the process of rescuing animals as we speak. What fires are you specifically working on right now?
Right now, we're in the West North Complex. It's a little confusing because several fires have gone together, so they've gone to an area command. So that's actually what we're working out, the exact title. When it's on the east side, it's actually Plumas County. On the west side, it's Butte County. So Cal Fire is the one that's in charge of this fire here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And you mentioned the shelters. What types of animals are you helping? I know you said small animals, large animals, but what specifically?
Yeah, on the small animal, we have, I forget the exact numbers, about 150 dogs, 200 cats, 30 chickens, 20 rabbits, 2 turtles, and a guinea pig.
Oh my goodness.
And you're currently in California right now, right?
That is correct. Yeah, Northern California. The large animal shelter has about 125 horses, and they have sheep and goat as well. They have a lot of livestock here.
Wow. And I know reuniting people with their animals is going to be tough. Are you scanning for microchips and doing things like that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then every animal also gets a number written on the side. The small animals have special paper collars we can put around them with a specific number. And, this is the computer age. So, of course, everything is digitized and QR codes on everything. So it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, well, that's great, John. And really quick, can you let us know, or can you let the viewers know how they can contact you guys if anyone needs to request assistance?
Sure. Our hotline is area code 530-895-0000. And it isn't 100% that we can go behind the fire lines. Like I say, we have to check with the safety officer and the division group supervisor before we do it. But today we went to the briefings in the morning. Things are quieted down a little bit, so we're hoping we can get into the perimeter areas today.
Wow.
Absolutely. Bless you, man.
Bless you guys. Yeah, for doing all of that for the animals. And I know everything is dependent on the weather as well. So thank you so much for joining us on Main Street Living.
Great, no problem. Thank you.
All right, stay safe. All right, a lot more coming up, Quincy and Danielle on Main Street Living. Are you searching for love during the quarantine? I know it's not an easy thing to do right now, but we have some great advice coming up, so stick around.
Welcome back to Main Street Living, and Danielle, something that's hard to find when you have to stay 6 feet apart. Love.
Why you say Danielle about that? I'm doing
fine.
No, I'm just kidding. But it is, right? Dating, I think we can all agree that dating is the worst, right? It's the worst. And it's made even worse by this social distancing. But luckily, there are services like My Cheeky Date in Louisiana, which has paired up with Cox's Gigablast service to help people safely search for love.
In 2007, My Cheeky Date, a speed dating and matchmaking company, started helping singles find love. In 2020, Cox Communications launched Gigablast high-speed internet in the greater Louisiana area. So, what happened when the two met? It was a perfect match, and smart dating was born.
We partner with Cox to run an event called Smart Dating, where we connected local Louisiana singles to meet each other in a comfortable and safe environment from the safety of their home.
Our entire state is now equipped with GigaBlast, which is 1 gig internet. And we've got that in every single community that we serve across Louisiana. So we wanted to show it off, let people test it out.
We try to mirror what we did with our in-person events. So you would first enter the virtual lounge where everyone gathers together to meet each other before getting started.
Everybody's in this big room and you can hear everybody talking, you can all interact, you can see all the guys that you're gonna go on little dates with and size up your competition.
Once we get started, we place everybody in one-on-one dates where they have a chance to speak with each person for 5 minutes.
It's just you and another person having a conversation just like this. And if you feel a connection, you push the match button and then it's on to the next person after the time is up. And it just keeps going through different people each time and you get to have a different conversation and learn a little bit about everyone.
I don't know, I kind of like the virtual whole dating thing. How are you liking it so far?
You know, it's definitely an interesting experience. I think I like it because it's like you get to talk to people like maybe that from somewhere you didn't think about going before.
I found it very comfortable. I had so many Zoom meetings and so many FaceTimes with family and friends that it kind of felt like a natural transition. Might as well do it with dating.
The reason we put it together is because our whole thing at Cox is making meaningful connections with people. And we especially know now in a pandemic, it's hard to connect with people, especially if you're quarantined at your house or if you're social distancing with so many things closed. We thought now more than ever, it is vital that we help people connect using what we do best, which is providing high-speed internet.
If you really do want to find love and put yourself out there, I do think virtual speed dating or any virtual dating option is a great way to meet others. So it's a really great option for those who don't want the pandemic to get in the way of their love life.
We have a great new partner in My Cheeky Date, so I'm very hopeful that we'll be able to do this in other regions for Cox across the country. I know that people really would enjoy it. It's just so easy to meet people without even leaving your home. All you have to do is get cute and get online.
It was something completely new, out of the box, and whether you make a romantic connection or a friendship connection, it's still really nice to meet people one-on-one.
Yeah.
The one thing I can say about that with Cox GigaBlast being a part of it, I mean, you're guaranteed to not miss a beat. There shouldn't be any lag time. There shouldn't be anything. So
that is
so you
right.
Can't pretend like you can't hear the person or if it's going poorly. Yeah.
But you have Cox. Don't lie to me.
I do have to say, I've always been anti-online dating, but I would rather do online dating, I think, than like go to a bar. So
would you?
Maybe this is, I think I'm more likely to find someone I have common interests with online than in a bar, perhaps, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, that's probably true. Because in a bar, you don't know what you're getting.
Right. Well, something to mull over until a later time. But coming up next, we'll have more Main Street Living. Welcome back to Main Street Living. It feels so good to say that because even though I've moved, I know there's a Main Street everywhere. So I missed you guys and I'm happy to be back.
So happy to have you. Where is the Main Street in Vegas? I got to hear this because I know the Strip.
As far as I'm concerned, it's the Strip. Yeah.
You think so?
I think as far as anybody's concerned, yeah.
Isn't there an old Vegas though?
There is an old Vegas. Yeah, I actually did the Vegas Rock and Roll Half Marathon with my mom 2 years ago, and you run down the Strip and you go all the way into old downtown Fremont Street, and it's very cool and it has the old neon, and so a lot of I'll just say like more seasoned gamblers like to go there. So it's a lot of fun.
I did not know that there was an old Vegas and then there's the current Vegas, which means there's an old Elvis impersonator that's down there.
And you have to pass the stratosphere on your way to going to Old Vegas. So I know Cheryl and our director Melissa and I also want to all just jump off that bad boy. So
is that what they do? Do you have something that what's it called? What is it called that you do off of it?
They just strap you in and you jump.
I thought you is it called rappel when you go down with a thing?
I think it slows you down as you go, but
okay,
we'll find out.
Yeah, I think we should do it. That's another road trip. We're planning them all.
Yeah, we minus me. Okay, so just turn the W upside down and put a minus.
You can hold the camera. All right.
Yeah, all right. You can do that. There's a job for you.
But yeah, it's so great to be back with everybody, and I just want to thank everybody for watching the show. And it's cool that we're highlighting so much back to school stuff because I know that distance learning is definitely a challenge. I definitely had to take an online course, just one in college, and brutal.
Yep.
Absolutely. And you folks can download the Cox Contour app and catch our show on the go. So don't forget that.
And we have new episodes every Monday, 9 p.m. local time. So make sure you join us then as we take our next stroll down Main Street. We'll see you.